Welcome, college basketball fans, to the Full Court Press Podcast with LT and Sammy D. This is the podcast that brings you legendary stories from college basketball's golden era and dives in deep with a current analysis of today's game. Get ready for the most energetic and entertaining college basketball podcast around. Let's get it.
Hello and welcome to another Full Court Press, a college basketball coaches show brought to you by the Full Court Network. LT back in the saddle. I'm joined by my guy, Sammy D. You love the show. You like the show. Give us a 5-star review. Subscribe if you're watching on YouTube. We're almost up to 2,500 subscribers. And if you want more from us, you want to support the press and the Full Court Network, join our Substack account. So we got a good one. We got a returning guest, and it's always interesting why the hell they come back. And I actually asked Coach when we were at the Mountain West Conference how his summer vacation was, when it was literally from the locker room to the press conference and back. We got one of our favorites. We got Coach Tim Miles from San Jose State, the Spartans, back in the Full Court Press. Welcome back, Coach.
Guys, one of my favorite podcasts. Thanks for having me on.
Dude, we're not a podcast. We're an empire, Coach.
Oh. I know. I couldn't do the business, man. I got fired by the Athletic one year and the Field of 68 the next. I had to get back into coaching.
There you go. There you go. Yeah, you got some.
That should tell you something, Coach.
Yeah, right.
Well, summer vacation no longer for head coaches. It's
no downtime.
What's been going on, Coach? You know, putting a roster together, putting a schedule together. You know, what's the last kind of month, 2 months
Sam,
been like?
Sam,
What's
let's
up?
do this. Hey, Coach, do you want to talk politics, religion, the current college basketball landscape, the transfer portal, NIL, or non-conference scheduling?
I grew up Catholic, so fear, worry, doubt, guilt. I got all that stuff.
Got
Right?
Love
it. How's it been going, though? How's the offseason been going for you?
Great. Like I say, all of a sudden, you just know how it goes as soon as the season's over. There's going to be some turnover, right? And we had guys that move on. Some guys moved on with really good NIL deals, a springboard from us to a big contract. And I'm happy for those guys. I really am. I don't love the fact that we have so many new, you just turn like 90% of your roster over every year. I don't think that's great for fan bases. I don't think that's great for a lot of things. But at the same time, that's you adapt or die. And so we were busy recruiting. I'm encouraged by our guys. They're just coming on campus here in the next week. And so we get to start working with them in the following week. And that's always, I love them because, they haven't screwed it up yet. So,
nor have you. Touche, Coach.
Yeah, they haven't listened to me yet. I remember telling a coach one time, hey, be careful what you tell Billy here. He listens. Okay. Just watch it. But I like our group, and I'm looking forward to the last year, the old Mountain West, before we get the big exodus of those 5 schools, 3 of them of which have been in the Mountain West since its inception. I've been in the Mountain West. It's going to be my 10th year in the Mountain West, including my run at Colorado State. So I love the league, and certainly sad to see those guys go, but excited for the future too.
Yeah. How do you keep it going? I mean, how do you recruit 9 to 10 to 13 new players each year? I mean, I know you say adapt or die, and I mean, that's what every coach has to do. But how do you do it at a place like San Jose State? No, but I don't mean that in any disrespect. Like, how do you keep it going? Because I mean, I saw you play in the Mountain West. You had some really nice pieces, okay? Yeah. And I just feel like every coach has to build culture every year. But like, how are you doing it? A lot with just everything going on in the current college basketball landscape. You're kind of moving conferences. You're staying, but a whole bunch of teams are coming in. Like, how are you keeping the train going down the track, I guess is what I'm trying to ask.
Well, when I took this job, I said, the thing about San Jose State, it reminds me of my very first job as a head coach, Mayville State. And when I met was, we inherited a team that was 2-22 the year before I got there, 2-22 the year before that. And we were able to flip it and win 35 games in 2 years, right? But you think about when you're an NAI coach, we had 3 scholarships over 15 guys. So somebody gets $500, somebody gets $4,000, somebody gets $2,000. And quite frankly, that's almost exact. And you had to recruit 7, 8 guys a year. And I did that as assistant NEI coach, and then as a head NEI coach, because we were the smaller division of NEI. We weren't full scholarships. So that's almost exactly what NIL is today, where you're putting a premium on this guy gets this much and this guy only gets that much. And you're putting together a roster. So it's just kind of like, oh yeah, I know this playbook. I know what to do. I don't like it. I don't love it. I loved it when we developed these long relationships and we signed guys early. We knew the families for years and years at a time. And the other guy I always go back to, besides my experience as a small college coach, is I remember when I was doing an Empire podcast, and I had Eric Musselman on, right?
Yeah, we just had him 2 weeks.
And we were just talking about the portal, and the portal was just getting in, and they hadn't had the thing yet where you're eligible every time you wanted to go, but we were, getting that way where now you could at least transfer once. And Musselman talked about his time in minor league basketball in the CBA with the Rapid City Thrillers, and how you just put as much talent together as quickly as you can in a 7-month process, knowing that your best dudes are going to get picked up by the NBA or Europe or whatever, and you're going to pick some guys that probably don't fit, so they got to go. So if you kept 2 or 3 guys, that was pretty good. And then you can talk to your junior college friends who've been doing the same thing for their whole life and don't want to hear the rest of us bitching about it. And really, that's where we're at nowadays.
Yeah. Yeah. But it's pretty crazy, Sam, when you think about it. We talk about transferring, like there's no talk about, are these kids graduating? I mean, there's no talk. It's funny. I mean, you're laughing, but let's be honest.
Remember when that used to be like a stat that people kept track of? This men's basketball program graduates 72% of its student athletes.
Hey, the team had over a 3.0 GPA. That's a joke now.
Yeah.
It's too bad because, just even society-wise, with things coming in, like we need to educate our young people and we need them to understand. And like I always say, the great thing about college, like I love in-person learning for colleges, right? A lot of people have their Zooms and their stuff where they don't go. And I'm like, well, how do you ever defend your point of view or an argument if you never have to face anybody eye to eye or nose to nose? Like, how do you grow and develop or establish your own personal philosophy if you never have to defend it?
Just
and
go on Twitter. Go on Twitter, go on Instagram.
If that's the way we're doing it, and we're not doing it in person, and we're not doing it nose to nose, I think there's something to be lost in that, where you do that. And so the same thing is the deal, is that our whole educational system, I'm really concerned about on how we're going and moving forward. And I'm so happy. My son's a Division I track athlete. My daughter went to 2 colleges, Nebraska for 2 and San Jose State for 3. My son is starting his 3rd year next year at North Dakota State, that there are young people that stayed at their school, right? And I'm so happy about that, because I think that you learn so much more by being there, being present, and doing exactly what I said earlier.
Yeah, and it's pretty crazy. We interviewed Mike Bibby, and I mean, you obviously know who Mike Bibby is, a long-time NBA player.
Play one-on-one.
Yeah, I mean, well, no, I wouldn't want to still or ever. I swear to God, I think he's still going to play for Sacramento State.
I was going to say, don't stand. You don't want to play one-on-one. You also don't want to stand next to him in the gym.
Yeah. Hey, we're one lawsuit away from Mike maybe playing for Sacramento State. So let's just
him and Shaq are playing. They've got eligibility. But, the one thing that was really interesting to me when I asked him, like if NIL was prevalent, the transfer portal was prevalent when he was playing, how would that affect him? He's like, honestly, Luke, I probably would have never made it to the NBA. Because of the choices of like, maybe because let's be honest, Tim, the grass is not always greener.
Yeah.
Okay. 100%. And I think, in society, it's like, if shit happens, we'll just go somewhere else. I mean, unfortunately, at the end of the day, it's all about, the individualistic experience. And if they don't like it, they go somewhere else. And to be honest with you, if you get a player that can help you for that year, fantastic. But some of these programs, unfortunately, and no offense to any program, including yourselves, I mean, it's the minor leagues. It's like you have a kid that does really well. I mean, you're not going to be pissed at him if he goes and gets $2 million from South Carolina, with Coach Musselman at Southern California. I mean, but I guess the thing is, like, how are you going to develop culture every year, because you have such a small window to develop it and to build a team very quickly?
Yeah, I think that that's got to be a thing from the set, from when you start with them in June, right? And I think that we used to always do things like I used to do my team policies and my team expectations always like the first day of school, right? Now we do it 2 months earlier, right? We do it in June. Hey, this is what in June we used to kind of have them just for a few hours, right? And we were so many returners that you really didn't worry about anything. And then I always started the school year. So one, just fast forwarding the whole process or rewinding the whole process to start it earlier so we can get it there. The other thing that I hope that we do, I wish they'd commit to, is some summer league games. So we can compete against other people in the summer and find out who thrives or doesn't thrive in our competitive environment. So they know how to respond.
Get rid of them.
Respond to them
before they get their first paycheck.
Yeah.
Cut them. Bye. Sorry, you didn't make it. See ya.
Exactly. Cut. So, I think as you look at it, I still think there's going to be rule changes that look like that. I really do. And I think that will help with the culture. But I think as a coach, you're only going to get so far, especially if there's a guy. Well, we've taken like 5 seniors, I think, each of the last 2 years. So older guys, right? Yeah. And so they're only around 1 year, right? And I think that matters, right? That those older guys know who they are, but you've got to get them to buy in. Mm-hmm. Buy-in is everything. And so it has to be shared too. You have to listen to them and find out what they're willing to do, what they really want. Because if you're at San Jose State, now this is possible, to upgrade your profile. So my shooting numbers are better. My efficiency numbers are better. My scoring's better. I'm a little more popular. Now I'm worth more money on the market. Yep. Well, you've got to buy into winning too, because if we're just crappy and we're not going to win, nobody's going to get what they want. So I think you've got to educate these guys too on the value of the team success is still paramount.
Yeah. Are you looking at the player stats from kind of like a Moneyball perspective? Where you're like, okay, I've got this much kind of in your treasure chest, and this is the piece I'm looking to build during the off season. So how does that kind of?
What I like to do is just spend whatever I've got, whatever I can, and then just worry about how to pay for it later.
Hey, you sound like my wife.
Put it on a credit card.
And his wife too.
Is there an NIL credit card anywhere that we can just
buy now, pay later after we win? Right.
So, like I say, when you play for point, you pay for point guards and bigs, right? Mm-hmm. And so you know that, so you try and get that done as quick as possible, and get the right guys in. And then, like we were in a point where we had some wings and we're like, oh, we just don't have that much money for a wing because we have to save it for, we have 2 bigs to get, and that's going to cost us. And it did. And so you kind of slot it in. And it was like the old NEI days when I had 3 scholarships for 15 guys. The big guys got your point guards and bigs are the guys that got the biggest scholarship money just because they're the fewest people out there.
Yeah. What, is there a common denominator with some of the guys you picked up? I'm going to throw out some names like, Javon Hanna, Adrian Myers, Colby Garland. What were aside from on the court, what were the off court kind of personality traits that you were looking for?
So some of the things I still like, for instance, that Hanna was recognized as 6th man of the year in the league, and Colby was on the all freshman team in the Missouri Valley. Mm-hmm. Okay, so who picks those? The opposing coaches, right? Yeah. So that to me means everything, right? Adrian Myers, like you talk about, elite shooter, just didn't crack the rotation at Mississippi State on a really good top 25 team. Yeah. So, but the point is, like, okay, you look at, all right, this kid is legitimate. Why? And I still go back to that, if you're a young kid who puts an email in front of me and says, look, I averaged 22 points a game. Like, yeah, but you weren't all conference, all state, all anything. Like if your dad's running your team and you're getting 29 shots a game, I mean, you're going to average 22 points. So I want to see where there's like a consensus of what's going on, and other people feel like this guy's a bona fide winner. He can do some things. So I think that's really important to me. And in a way that where you're trying to get this recruiting process done in literally 4 to 6 weeks max. Right? How you fast, how you get up to speed on these guys. And that matters to me.
Yeah.
What is the pitch at San Jose State? Like when
you get to play for Coach Miles.
There you go. Right. Legendary Coach Miles. But I mean, it's like you say, the window's shrunk when you're in the transfer portal, right? Like you're not really getting these guys on campus and spending quality time over 1 or 2 days with them. So like, what is that pitch?
Usually it's opportunity for them to make an impact. People really like our offensive system. So when we can show them how they fit in and what we do, they like that. The league has always been attractive. The Mountain West in its current form has been really attractive. And that really matters too, because it's literally been what would be now the 5th strongest league. But even when the Pac-12 in its old form existed, we were putting more teams in the Mountain West and from the Mountain West in the 8 years I was in it at CSU and San Jose State. We were putting more in the NCAA tournament than the Pac-12 was, and almost as much as the ACC. We just weren't making the big deep runs until San Diego State made the championship game. So I think when you look at it, like those are the biggest determining factors, right? And people love California. Sunny San Jose is like, the weather is insane. It's a cool place to live. That helps too.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Silicon Valley doesn't kill you. Having every high level tech company in the world, 15 miles.
Yeah, not all bad recruiting. And you've got a rowdy band. I mean, I was put positioned by them. I don't know. One was just yelling at the top of its lungs whenever the other team was doing a foul shot. I'm like, man, someone better get a paramedic near this person. I mean, the band was into it, man. I loved it.
They have their own hype video during the football season. That's weird. You should come for a football game and see their hype video, man. You want to see the SJSU marching band. Like, it's good.
Yeah. Yeah, that's exciting. Before I was rudely cut off by Sam to ask you a question on something you were talking about, which has happened for like 25 years of my life, plus I might add. Yeah. But how much are you using like your friends, other coaches to kind of give you some intel on these players? Are you guys doing that more? I mean, I know that's always been a thing for years, but even more so because you see kids kind of moving around a lot more. Or is that not like, I'm not going to ask that question of that guy?
I was just talking to a coach the other day, and I forget who it was. And I don't want to say a name in case I'm wrong, but I think he just changed from a head coaching job at like a Horizon school to another school or whatever. And I said, hey, have you noticed that we're just getting more honesty from the other coaches? When we ask about a kid, and he's like 100%. Like, I mean, it's just, I think it's almost refreshing. We all know what's going on. And, I think we know the right you always know the right questions to ask for what you're getting. And there's just really more transparency, I think, in the whole process amongst coaches, because coaches, like college coaches, always had it tough. The NBA competes against each other on the coaching level, and that's really where it ends. But we compete against each other in college on the recruiting level, on prospecting, and the coaching level. So it's a different kind of, it's not as it's just different, right? That way. But I think now with all the freedom of movement and stuff in the portal, I think there's way more transparency with amongst coaches.
Yeah, the transfer portal, and Sam, the transfer portal and the coaching portal.
Well, I mean, I was just gonna say, I mean, it seems like that kind of fraternity of coaches has gotten stronger the past 2 years, just because you guys need to look after yourselves too. You guys are being asked to win in the first year to two when, some of your friends are taking new jobs like the past couple of years. And so from a coach's perspective, what do you see to be able to kind of protect the longevity of some of these contracts or jobs?
Yeah, I think that the same rules always apply, right? I mean, one is you want to recruit the right kind of kids that are going to play the way that you expect them to play. So there's this synergy and this togetherness, right? And then now you've eliminated maybe some of the stress that you get between, or the friction you get between a coach and a player and a parent or something like that. So I think like knowing who you are and what you can coach and who you can coach, the type of personality you can coach. I think one of the things you've seen more than ever in college coaching, and you'll see it like behavioral profiling and things like that going on, asking guys to take personality assessments, things like that, is becoming a bigger and bigger deal in college sports. And some teams are really flourishing with that, right? And there's got to be an element of that, again, that connectivity, right? And so I think that's the number one thing, right? Is you reap what you sow. So getting everybody on the same page and then getting there as quickly as you can possible allows for success.
Yeah. That's a good assessment of everything. Sam, you want to get them going? You want to start it off, and I'll pound them a little bit?
Yeah. Well, we're going to put you on the shot clock here, Coach. LT's going to fire off 5 or 6 questions. Some might be one word, some might lead to a short story, but platform's going to be yours. So LT, let's get it.
Okay. All right, Coach. One word to describe the current college basketball landscape.
Chaos.
I was hoping
that's probably already used by every other coach.
I haven't heard that before.
It's pretty factual. Yeah, right.
I know. Okay, if you could change one rule in college basketball right now, what would it be?
Continuation. Too many times a kid's into his shot, he gets fouled, they wave off the basket because our continuation is ridiculously narrow. And I would like to see a kid who's into his move get fouled and he's able to finish that, get credit for it.
So they changed the NCAA announced they changed the continuation, continuous motion today.
Well, there you go. See, I get shit done. Okay, boys.
There you go. You
know what the rules called?
From the NCAA, under the changes to the continuous motion rule, an offensive player who ends his dribble going forward toward the basket and absorbs contact from the defense will be permitted to pivot or complete the step the player is on and finish the field goal attempt. Just announced a couple hours ago, Coach.
I've been complaining about it for 2 years. So
I know. The other rule change that was with that is coaches get a challenge now.
Yeah.
I know. So, who's the Mountain West coach that do you think is going to screw that up the most?
Leon Rice, 100%.
100%.
Yeah.
Ding, 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 ding. Dude,
he's pretty much already challenging every call.
Sam and I were laughing at the Mountain West Conference tournament because Leon gets after the officials. He is like, just it's hilarious.
We had a Mountain West meeting this year, right? Yeah. And there's no Mountain West. So all you guys are leaving. So don't say anything, right?
Right.
And so anybody got any questions or anything to say? Leon, right? Here we go. I'm like, Leon.
Oh, Leon's the guy.
I'm joking around. Obviously, I have great respect for Leon.
We do too. I love him.
Runs a great program, but
guy's a winner. He's a great dude. So that continuation rule is actually called the LeBron James rule. Get touched in the backcourt, and you can take 400 steps and still get to play. So that's great. Give me you're known as a funny dude. Give me your top 3 funniest head coaches currently in the NCAA landscape or the NCAA game, not landscape. I'm stupid. Who's your top 3? Don't think too hard.
Kevin Kruger was funny at UNLV.
Yeah, well, he's not in there anymore, so you got to use 3 others, Coach. He got let go, unfortunately.
3 is too many. I'm clearly the funniest guy.
Okay, so give me 4 more.
Your math is horrible, Luke. Your math is horrible.
Canadian.
I used to love to listen to the old boys tell stories like Huggins and those guys. Like just the storytellers were the best.
Could you keep up with Huggins drinking though?
No, I don't know. I've never drank with him.
But I'm in Ohio, and I've heard stories where he drank the whole night and then coached a game. I don't know if it's true or not.
But I love the storytellers, like the older storyteller guys. Like you get, like even in a conference meeting, and you get Izzo and those guys start telling stories, or whoever it might be, and it's really, really good, really good stuff.
I would say the storyteller that we had that we're still scratching our head on is Phil Martelli.
Oh yeah,
guy's got some stories, that's for sure.
He was talking about his dad's dog that they called Lucky. He was blind and only had 3 I don't know where it went, but I asked Junior about it, and he's like, yeah, that was my grandpa's dog. I don't know what it's, so whatever. And then we've had Coach Martin, which is, Frank Martin is,
Frank is great.
Frank
is great. Story.
Yeah. We've had some really good stories. So let me ask you this. Give me your favorite or funniest recruiting story that you ever had as a coach.
Well, I was just thinking about this one. And it was a young kid at Dowling High School in Des Moines, Iowa, right? and I'm going to save the name, right? But I think the family was out of their house. So they're in a condo and they had a golden retriever named Sadie. And so I come in to sit on I'm the head coach at North Dakota State at the time. I come in and sit on the couch, right? And the dog immediately jumps up. It's me and the kid, right? And the dog jumps up, starts licking my face, right? Just loves me, right? Who doesn't, right? This is it. This is what you're doing. Petting the dog. Oh, what a good puppy, Sadie, whatever. And the kid comes over and grabs Sadie. Sadie, get away, blah, blah, blah. Hey, I'm okay. I like dogs. 10 minutes later, the dog comes back, jumps right up next to me, just a wet kiss, just lick, like, and he grabs Sadie, drags her outside. Dude, it's okay. He goes, Coach, every time she leaves, she goes and drinks out of the toilet, comes back in and licks her. I'm like, I'm going to use the restroom. Okay. Wash up here a little bit.
At least he didn't say she wasn't licking something else, but
yeah, well, that's and she probably was in the meantime. So but that's how you build up a strong immune system, man. Come on.
Yeah, I mean, you were probably a stellar person during COVID because of your immune system. I feel like dogs. We've had We've had bit by a dog. I guess dog. We've had every angle. It's pretty funny. So, last question I've got for you. They're making a Hollywood movie about your life. Okay. What would the title be? Who would play you? And what would be the theme song for this Hollywood hit?
These are hard questions. So who would play me would be like, who's kind of goofy?
Obviously they didn't train you well at the Athletic or Field of 68, but
so
that's okay.
I'd say, but you can't really pick a big star. So who's the guy that played Pee Wee Herman? Paul, what's his name? Oh, he's dead.
Paul.
Yeah, so not him. Some cat like that. And then what was the name of the movie?
What's the name of the movie and what's the theme song for the movie?
How the hell did I get here? What am I doing? What was the old vice president for Ross Perot? Says, why the hell am I here? And how did I get what the hell am I doing here?
Yes.
Remember that cat? You got it.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Try not to.
And then I Did It My Way by Frank Sinatra. Yeah, we'll do that.
That's good.
It sounds like it's a high budget film in Hollywood.
Yeah, I know. And Perot's quote is, "Who am I and why am I here?"
Yeah, who am I and why am I here? That's the movie.
Would you say you're the most famous person from your hometown, Dolan, South Dakota? Which would actually the population dropped. It's now 199 people as of 2 years ago.
Yeah. So we used to, when you came into Dolan, when I was just in college, it said Dolan, there was a highway, you come east or west, you come in from the east, it said Dolan, population 306 on the little green sign, right? And then when you came in from the other direction, it said Dolan, population 297. So somebody runs over the sign or whatever, they order a new sign, we lose 9 people in this. There's 9 missing people. For 30 years, looking for the 9 missing people in Dolan. I graduated number 7 in my high school class. There was
8 people.
There's 13 of us. Right in the average, right in the middle. So Hubert H. Humphrey.
Yep,
right?
VP.
Vice President of the United States of America for LBJ, graduated from Dolan High. And then we had 2 guys, Olympic wrestlers, Dennis and Dwayne Kozlowski. Dwayne just passed away. Dennis medaled twice in Barcelona and Seoul in Greco-Roman wrestling.
Wow.
Yep. Wow. But I think I went in the Dolan Hall of Fame one year. They had this summer tent, and I stood there, and they shook my hand.
Love it. Did you get a key to the city yet?
Nope.
Have they done that? Oh,
nope.
It's in your future. I could see it. But Coach, we're going to turn it over to you last minute of the show. Anything you want to share with the San Jose State fan base, Spartan student section, alumni, the blue and gold, anything, they could be looking forward to with this next season?
We've been lucky enough to make postseason 2 out of the last 3 years, which is outstanding in our history, right? In our tradition. And our last game in the NIT against Loyola, Chicago, we lost like 73-70 or 75-72. It was like 3 points, I think, right? And we had a great crowd, huge energy. And I hope we can build off that. Like, I hope we've kind of captured some of the attention now after a couple stronger seasons with postseason.
Yep.
And hopefully that we want to build off that. And I think they will. And if we can do that, they just have to trust. We're going to get them the right guys. You might not know everybody's name right away. You'll know a few of them. We're going to get you the right guys. They're going to play the right way. It's going to be a lot of fun to watch. So come out and hang out with us.
Love it.
I'm still thinking about Pee Wee Herman.
Paul Rubin, that's his name.
So, well, Coach, you're going to stick on for one more second because I'm going to ask you what the hell you were thinking. But don't forget to subscribe, rate, review to the Full Court Press, a college basketball coaches show on the Full Court Network. I'm kind of speechless here, but thanks to Coach Miles. Check out the Spartans of lovely San Jose State, a.k.a. in American English, San Jose State. And he's supposed to be the funniest college coach, best looking, best golfer, best everything, most famous person. But he only graduated 7th out of 13, which is below 50%. But thanks for watching. Thanks for listening, Coach Miles. Sammy, we'll be back next week on the Full Court Press, a college basketball coaches show.